Hey everybody, Beth Gibbs here. I just have a quick announcement before we start the show. We at Totes Recall have decided to stop doing the newsletter, but never fear, we have started a brand new Tumblr page. So right now, if you head over to totesrecall.com, you can find all sorts of fun content that you would normally find in the newsletter, plus a lot more that will hold you over until next month's episode. So once again, head over to totesrecall.com and follow us there on Tumblr. Thank you all so much for listening, and enjoy the show. Totes Recall.
Welcome to Totes Recall, the podcast, where we talk about a movie we don't remember very well. We watch that movie, eat pizza, salad, and then we come back and we talk about how that movie was for us. Guys, I'm bummed about this movie.
Oh no!
Dan.
My name is Dan.
I'm Molly.
I'm also Dan.
And I'm Beth. I have some good news.
Okay.
They came out with some new emojis, and now there's a salad emoji. So I'm very excited about that because I can send pizza and salad.
That's good. Okay. That
Positive spin.
lifts my spirits. Because our movie is Star Wars Episode 1.
Phantom Menace.
The fourth one.
The first one.
The first
Yeah,
one.
but
The
also
fourth one, the first one.
The fourth one, the first one, Episode 1.
Fourth one in our timeline.
Yeah. Phantom Menace? Attack of the Clones? What's
Phantom
it called?
Menace.
Phantom Menace. And I know I may have advocated for this movie
Yep.
strongly.
Sure did.
And I maybe said we have to watch it because
Yes.
Rogue One is coming out. But now, all day today, I've been like, I don't want to watch this movie. But it's what we're doing. So now I feel like Molly, who already hates it by the time it starts.
Yeah, you're like
Pre-hating it?
pre-hating.
Yeah.
Well, I'm with you. I am 100% with
Yeah.
you. I really hated this movie when I first saw it. And now that I've seen Rogue One, which was a good movie, it's going to make this one
Spoiler
even...
alert.
Spoiler.
Well, I mean, yes. It's good. Sorry, everyone. But yeah, no, I feel like I just want to fast forward through all the Jar Jar parts.
Yeah. He's fun. I saw this movie. When did this movie come out? Like 99, 2000?
Something like
Is that a bet?
I'm going to say 2000.
Did you quite bet?
Summer of 2000. Because I know I was in high school, or at least not yet in college, because...
Not yet a man.
Yeah. Like, I knew high school people, my high school acquaintance.
Oh, no, your
Andrew.
brother's best friends that
No.
left you?
I mean, no, he was my friend in elementary school, and then we, I don't know, drifted apart, as you do. I had a lot of different friend groups. Sorry I didn't have consistent friends all through elementary school.
Joy that Molly's getting out of your sadness.
Anyway, he had, skipped school to go wait in line to get tickets.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa, that's devotion. And part of me was, excited for the idea of a movie that we were all so excited about.
Yeah.
Because I was not aware of Star Wars, the first Star Warses, when they were out. And so, in the theaters.
Yeah.
So didn't have that moment of oh shit, we gotta watch this movie. You gotta stand in line to get tickets. It's gonna be insane.
Oh, yeah, the excitement was incredible.
Yeah. And so it felt like this is our time now to be
Yes.
excited about a cultural moment.
Yeah.
And we'll all talk about this for years to come.
Right.
Ugh.
And I think my brother got his tickets, and it felt like a big deal to get tickets. And we went. I don't remember hating it. The cultural hate for this movie has outweighed any memory I have of how I enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I went to go see it in theaters, and I'm going to also bet the year 2000 because it sounds futuristic. And I would have been out of college at that point. And somehow I drove by myself. And the only reason I remember that is because my experience of that movie was hating Jar Jar, feeling like Oh, wow. Another little boy protagonist in a sci-fi movie. Sorry. And, like, I don't know why I apologized. Whatever. There's just a lot of young, you know what I mean? It's like E.T., it's like all these movies. Anyway, and that's fine. But I just mostly remember the driving. And I remember there's like a big race.
Yeah, the pod racing.
Oh, I thought you meant driving to the theater.
Oh, well, that was the thing. That's why, because on the drive home, I felt very frustrated with my car because the one thing that had moved me about the watching Phantom Menace was this idea of flying cars.
Yeah.
And I felt particularly constrained to gravity and how boring regular car driving was and wanted very much to be in a cool vertical hovercraft
for sure
type thing.
And you had years before the Fast and the Furious would get you excited about driving cars.
Yeah, right.
Drifting even entered your vocabulary.
Yeah, you weren't even. Yeah. You hadn't even seen the potential of regular cars yet.
Anyway, I was bummed out. I was bummed out driving home.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember how I felt about this movie at the time. And I think that's the only time I saw it.
It's for sure the only time I've seen it. I think I remember saying to myself, I will never see this movie again. How could I have known?
Yeah.
I know I saw it in the theater. I don't remember if it was... There was definitely one of them, of the new ones that came out, that we were in college, which means that I probably wasn't in college yet for this one then, because I think you're both correct.
Oh. Triple down, Dan, Molly.
So this one probably... Well, but we also had, like, nothing to do on weekends in high school. One of these movies we, like, actually went to, like, a midnight showing.
Oh.
I can't remember if it was this one. But I remember... I feel like when I got out of it... I feel like when I went into it, I wasn't, like... I was already sort of prepared to be, like, kind of iffy about it, because, like, we all grew up watching... Like, when we were kids, we would go see the special editions when they would come out.
Right.
And we would usually walk out of those every time being like, why did he do that? Like, we were always, like, confused by the special editions, like, all the things that he changed, because it just seemed like the movies were fine before. So then going into this, I'm like, well, he's probably just going to do a bunch of weird shit that I don't understand. And that's going to be the movie. And it was. So I wasn't, like... So I was less upset about it than I was, like... upon reflection of it over time, I was more just kind of like
primed. Yeah,
I was just kind of like, well, there was a lot of dumb stuff in there, but maybe the next one will be okay.
Is there like a big Senate meeting where people sit around and talk policy for a while?
Oh yeah,
yeah, for sure. There's like a whole government scene where you get to know their government.
And E.T. shows up in that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the corner of the screen or something.
Yeah,
like a little,
he's like in one of the little listening
E.T.
pods.
delegate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so that's why people think E.T. is a Jedi.
What?
You haven't seen that or anything?
No.
Oh, where like he uses the Force in the E.T. movie? Is that the idea?
Yeah, well, it's like we know they're in a shared universe.
Right.
Because we see the E.T.s in this movie, I guess.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, he can make a bike fly.
Right. Oh, yeah, the Force.
Yeah, he's using the Force.
There's some other reason.
Makes sense.
But, like, that's all I needed. I was like, sure, E.T.'s a Jedi.
Yeah, checks out.
Yeah.
Why not?
I remember seeing the movie in theaters, and I would also say 2000.
Quad
bet.
Because I think I was in like 6th grade. Because the thing that I don't remember not liking the movie. I don't remember liking it though either.
Yeah,
but I was very young, so I probably didn't really get it. And then the more I heard about, like, I was like, as I got older, I was like, oh yeah, Jar Jar is a very problematic character, and like things like there's a lot of like weird politics, and they describe the Force in a weird way.
Oh, yeah, like, that's what made me mad.
It's in the blood or
it's
something.
It's your mitochondria, and you can, like, test for it with science.
That's stupid.
Midichlorian, I believe is the word.
Sounds like mitochondria, but it's a new thing.
It's a space mitochondria.
Space mitochondria.
But the thing I remember most about it is the merchandising. Because all of my brother and his friends all had Phantom Menace things for Halloween. I believe my brother was Obi-Wan for Halloween, and he had this weird... So Obi-Wan has a long
rat tail
braid on the side.
Yeah. So gross.
And so the toy was like this plastic earpiece that had a long braid on it. And then he had a cape and then a lightsaber. And the lightsabers were awesome because they would they were like... I can't even think of how you.
They're like
you describe it.
telescoping.
Yeah, they're telescoping.
Yeah.
So like you would like
Could
push
whip
the
it out.
button and whip it, and then it would light up and make noises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you could stab people with it. It would look like it was going into their sides,
Oh,
which isn't really like how lightsabers work. But
it's fun.
yeah, it was fun until you got hit with one that didn't go back in,
Oh,
and
sure.
then it really
There's
hurt.
just like a focus point of plastic,
Yeah,
like hitting you
exactly.
in the stomach. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's. Oh, and Darth Maul's was the best lightsaber because
Right.
it's double-sided.
Yeah.
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 But that is what there was a lot of, like, that was the biggest thing I remember is, like, that was the toy of the year.
Was that costume? The Obi-Wan costume?
Yeah.
Or the lightsaber.
The lightsaber.
The lightsaber was the toy, for sure.
I'd forgotten about Darth Maul. Darth Maul is cool. I had also forgotten about that whole trend of rat tails. I don't know. Did you guys survive that? I lived through that. And like the
Oh, you mean like not the Star Wars
not
ones,
the
but
Star
the real
Wars
ones?
the real ones.
Yeah.
I remember that being
Oh,
a
they're
thing.
so gross.
I knew a kid in like 6th grade who had one that like went down his back.
Ugh.
It was intense.
They are
Yeah.
so gross.
They're so gross.
We had a kid when I worked after school in like the mid 2000s, and he had one, and I was like, "What?
Mid 2000s?
Yeah.
Wow.
How does no one know? Like, why does he still have it? Yeah. Every day I wanted to cut it.
Maybe at that point it is like that was like a deliberate countercultural statement.
Maybe.
Just like, I know it sucks.
Yeah.
Screw you, mom.
He was just an early hipster.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Could have been.
I just hope it never comes back.
Mm-hmm.
For real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe that's not the biggest problem I have in the world right now.
Or with this movie.
Or with this movie, yeah.
What happens in this movie?
There's a lot of driving.
There's
They ruin the Force.
Yeah.
And then there's this race at the end.
there's like 40. Okay,
I'm gonna
Dan's
talk
bet.
more about it.
Dan's bet. I'm gonna say 80% of this movie didn't need to happen.
Wow.
Like in terms of the like broader narrative that the prequel trilogy set out to tell, most of this movie did not need to happen. Like literally, we just needed to know where Darth Vader came from, and that's it. But instead, we spend like 40 minutes with him being like a little turd of a kid, and I feel bad for that kid because it's not his fault that the script sucks and the director sucks.
Yeah, and he like stopped acting
I think so because the internet was
him.
like, "You're terrible."
What?
Yeah, the actor got bullied like crazy.
Yeah.
And he, I don't know, sells cars now or something.
Or
I don't know what he does, but I think he quit. He like was like, okay, I'm not acting.
He was like, "This is
Sucks.
terrible."
Yeah.
What? That's terrible.
That is
Yeah.
terrible.
Isn't this the one? Are you guys familiar with Hatchet Order? Is that right?
Yeah,
Machete.
Yeah, machete order.
Is
I
that
think it was
right?
machete.
One
Okay.
of those two.
Yeah.
Some bladed.
Blade, sharp object order.
I mean, 95 up
it's
to
definitely
100%
machete
machete.
order.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Machete Order. I think this is the one that's just left out, right?
Yeah, I think so too.
It's like watch. What is it
You
like?
do,
4,
like,
5, 2.
Yeah, 4, 5, 2, 3,
6.
6,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
believe.
Yep.
And now Rogue One fits in there somewhere.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh,
Update your thing, Machete.
Internet.
Machete. Assume it's Danny Trejo.
yep.
Oh, you think
Totally.
he came up with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's his website.
Yeah.
Oh,
In
that'd
his
be
free time, he just
amazing.
blogs about movies.
Yeah. So that would back your case that most of it didn't happen.
Yeah.
It didn't need to happen.
Yeah, because I mean, like, the whole point. I mean, the way the whole movie. I mean, that was my problem with the whole prequel trilogy. Is like the whole thing was like set up. It's just like this is how he became Darth Vader. But like so much of this movie, especially, and all three of these movies, is like just him being like a troubled youth. Which
Yeah.
is like, I understand that can be like totally part of the origin story, and that's fine, and that makes sense. But I don't know if we have to like hammer into it for like 2 hours worth of runtime over 3 movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We'll find out.
Yeah, I guess.
So he's not ever an adult in this one, right?
Correct.
He's
Just
only
a little kid, with like kind of a bowl cut.
Yeah.
So we don't see the
he's
awkward
pretty
Natalie.
adorable.
Yeah, he's a cute kid.
Quince bet, adorable kid.
But like Natalie Portman doesn't appear in this at all, right?
Yes,
No, she's
she
not.
does.
She does?
And she is older than him.
Yes, it's
By
scandal.
like kind of a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember something about this movie then. At the beginning, you see her emerge from a spacecraft.
Yeah.
And she's murdered in cold blood. And you think that was a really short cameo by Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
But unless you're 6 years old or Molly, you understand immediately that she was a body double and that the actual character is fine.
That's right.
Yeah, I was truly surprised. I was very genuinely
I think I
aghast.
remember being confused by that as well.
Oh, really? Thank you.
Yeah.
It makes me feel better because everybody else was like, huh.
I think that's the point is that you're deceived by it, right?
Well, and I think it was confusing because, like, that is the one part of the movie that isn't spoon-fed to you, is sort of like whatever the fuck her job is. Like, you know what I mean? Because at the beginning of the movie, it's just like, oh, she just wears, like, weird hats and crazy makeup.
It has the weirdest blush.
Yeah.
Just like 2 dots.
But, like, it takes, like,
half.
half an hour to establish, like, what her actual, like, political power seems to be.
Isn't she?
Because she's
a
like
queen or
she's
princess?
a queen, but she's also
Princess Amidala, right?
Oh, that's a really good pull. I would never have remembered her name.
That.
Yep, that is right.
I mean, but like this whole thing is, it's weird because like she's the queen of the planet, but then she's going to the Senate to be like, hey, do something about my planet. But then they also have their own Senate members, like the planet does too. And I can't remember if she goes on her own or if the Senate is like, you have to help me because you're cool. Like, people will listen to you because I'm just an ineffectual fuddy-duddy. But he's secretly the emperor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That guy's the emperor. And I remember being confused. I was like, is that guy the emperor? He looks the same.
Yeah.
But it's been like 20 years.
Right.
Shouldn't he look like crazy old now?
Yeah.
But I guess not.
No.
Or maybe he was a young actor in the later movies.
Yeah.
Ugh. Why do you bring out movies that have 3 prequels? Why do you do that?
That's a good point.
Just start with 1.
Do we think Princess Amidala ever talks to another female named character?
Boy.
You want to jump straight to the BWT?
Yeah.
Oh,
Bechdel
man.
Wallace test.
I'm going to say no. I'm just going to say no.
Anakin definitely has a mom,
Yep.
and she probably talks to someone.
Yep. And she's there.
Yeah, she has, and she
Natalie
has a
Portman
name.
is there.
Yeah.
So.
I'm going to say it passes. Star Wars is... Okay, here's the thing. Star Wars is pretty progressive, in a way. There's a lot of different types of people.
Aliens?
And, well, they're aliens, and then other people, and men and women doing things. But that might just be the new movies that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Don't the original 3, aren't they like cited as examples of movies that don't pass?
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so much wrong with the male-female dynamics and the...
But
I
maybe-
just saw, I guess today I just saw Rogue One, so I am feeling really good about those movies. Although, I don't know if it passes. I didn't really pay attention. It probably does.
Tweet at us.
God, I hope it does.
Without spoilers.
Yes, it definitely does.
Okay, great.
Don't
Never mind.
Cancel that tweet. Put your phone away.
Unless you're Channing Tatum,
Yeah.
feel free.
Hashtag I am Che Tates.
I'm going to double Dan that it passes because I'm going to
Wow.
say if she doesn't talk to the mom, she maybe talks to one of her like 8 body doubles at some point.
I feel like she talks to a servant or somebody.
Or like, doesn't she have a mom or
Yes,
something?
she does.
Princess
Doesn't she
Amidala
have a mom?
has a mom?
Yeah.
I think so.
Like
Wow.
the queen mother
So the
equivalent of...
grand-
They've all got
Mother.
moms.
Oh, the grandmother of Darth Vader.
Oh, no, he does have a mom.
I wanted to
That's
say
like
it was
his whole thing.
Winona Ryder, but that might be Star Trek. Is it Winona
Yeah, I
Ryder,
think
like
you're thinking of
Spock's
Star
mom?
Trek. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
Correct.
sounds right.
Yep.
Okay, sorry,
Oh,
everyone.
nerds are so mad right
So
now.
mad. Tweet at us.
We didn't preface this. I didn't yell at them nerds yet.
Oh,
Hey-
right.
Hey, nerds. This whole podcast is about not knowing things. So get off our backs about not knowing things about Star Wars.
Chill out.
Yeah.
At least till the second half.
If we remembered it so well, we wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, cool it. We'll do episode 5 when episode 8 comes out. 7.
What?
Yes.
8.
Yes.
No. Yeah,
8.
8.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who cares, nerds?
Yeah.
Shut up, nerds.
Nerds. Wow. All right.
All right,
Getting in
now-
early.
Wow.
Come in their place.
Hey,
Ooh.
kettle calling.
Dan's bet. I hate every CGI character in this movie.
That's a pretty good bet.
Well, let's run through them.
Oh,
There
boy,
is
there's
Jar Jar, of course.
JJB, the big man.
Then there's like racist Chinese merchants.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, and that whole thing, like, I'll be curious about that because, like, I remember when it came out, I read that criticism. I was kind of like,
Is he racist Chinese or is he racist Jewish?
well, that's a
I
different
thought he was
character.
racist.
That's a different
there's
alien.
a different racist.
Yeah, and that's the
one
kind of
that's,
thing. The flappy one.
That's the flappy
He's-
elephant man?
He's racist
Right.
Jewish.
That one is
Say this
definitely
wart-
racist Jewish.
Wart.
I felt like...
Warto? No.
Watto.
Watto?
Quatto?
Watto.
That's right.
That's from Total Recall.
I feel like that one was the most... That one had the most foundation of like, yeah, this is terrible. The ones that they said sounded like Asian people, like that one, at least at the time, and we'll see, because maybe now I'll be like, holy shit. At the time, I felt like maybe that one, you could argue was just like, this is a race that, like, just an alien race, not like a human person race, that just, like, doesn't speak this language natively, so maybe they'll have a weird accent, but I can't remember if the accent just, like, straight up sounds like an Asian stereotype, or if it just happened to sound like, that was, like, what our human brains were just like, that sounds the most like an Asian person.
Yeah, I don't remember any of this in watching it. I think it all passed by me, and I was like, oh, that was fine. There were lasers. That was fun. And it wasn't until like 2 years later when the internet was so mad about everything that I was like, oh, you're right. That probably was racist. And I was like deep into my sociology major.
Right.
Yeah.
But I feel there's probably at a certain point people were looking for things to hate.
Right.
So I'm also open to the idea that some of the things that we quote unquote know about why this movie is bad are just like snowballing of other things.
Molly's bet, I will beg of us to just fast forward through the whole race at the end.
What race?
There's a race.
But that's the action scene.
The pod race? The floating car race that you actually liked?
No, I didn't like the floating car race. I like the driving around town. The vertical driving.
They're just going for a
Vertical
Sunday
driving.
drive.
When Ewan McGregor is driving around town.
Isn't that in the second one?
Oh.
Just driving around town?
Isn't there an underwater world in this one?
Yeah.
And they like have like weird like bubble
if they have to go to, like-
so they can breathe
They
underwater.
have like wireless CPAP
that's where
machines
Jar Jar
that let
lives?
them breathe underwater
Yeah, because he's like a frogman.
or whatever. I also hate his king. He's the worst.
Oh yeah.
King.
I forgot about this.
King
He's
Jar
like,
Jar.
oh, me's a big fat blubbery thing. And that's like his whole bit.
Ugh.
I had, I think for GameCube, the pod racing game.
Uh-huh.
I played it a lot, but also, I don't know if it was the game or our TV or whatever, but I just couldn't see the walls in that game. So I would just like be driving and think I was doing great and then explode. Because I just run into a wall and I was like, how do you, and I would get so mad and throw the controller and be like, I can't, what are they doing? It's all canyons. It's all the same. Just get mad at the game.
Yeah. It was
That's a
probably
strong
just
memory I have.
may have just been a poorly made game.
It
If you played this game and also had a similar or dissimilar experience, tweet at us. What with them GameCube walls? What?
Yeah.
What was yours?
Nope, that was good.
Great. The opening action sequence I remember liking and being like, this movie is fun.
Yeah.
Where they get like trapped, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan
Yeah.
get like trapped on the merchant ship and they're like, well, we're not going to be trapped. But then they send droids at them and they're balls.
Yeah.
And they roll out.
Oh,
Yeah, the rolly droids.
wow.
Those are fun.
Those are fun.
Yeah,
You know why they're
turrets.
fun? Because they don't really talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they're
The other droids are horrible
tanks.
because
Do they
they
have, like,
talk
a-
too much.
That kind of voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a droid.
Remember those being cool.
Yeah.
Is there cool action in this movie other than that scene?
Darth Maul's fun.
There's that
There's
one.
like a scene where somebody falls down a pit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember hearing how illustrative the scene was where, again, Qui-Gon gets trapped. And like, it's like a door comes down between him and Darth Maul, and then like he meditates because
Right.
he's the good side.
Yeah.
And Darth Maul paces in anger because he's the evil
Oh,
side.
Right.
yeah.
Yep.
Maybe I'm going to find it too heavy-handed this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember...
I already feel it heavy-handed.
yeah, no, it's going to be very heavy-handed. So heavy-handed that, like, they're literally... There is one moment in this movie that is, like, the worst example of just, like, bad script writing that I will have seared in my brain. When they're trying to explain the weird fake blood force creatures.
Yeah.
Where, like... And maybe I remember this wrong, but I'm pretty confident that at one point the little kid, like, literally just asked Liam Neeson, like, what does that word mean? And it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, Liam Neeson is in it, right?
Yeah, there's great people in this.
Oh, but they all seem miserable. That's what I remember.
yeah,
Those actors, all of them are like...
They're trying, but they're
Ewan
just...
McGregor does such a beautiful job of adopting the cadence of
Yeah.
his character.
For sure. Sandkook.
Also, he can't.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Young Sandkook.
Young Sandkook.
Oh. And Ewan McGregor, just so everyone knows, can do no wrong for me.
He's adorable.
Perfect.
Oh, me too.
He's
I
adorable.
mean,
Love him.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll enjoy that part.
Yeah.
Ooh, Beth.
I mean, I don't know.
Did you not see Trainspotting?
No, I haven't seen
Oh,
Trainspotting.
for Pete's sake. Well, I think that might influence.
Yeah.
Oh no! Well, I'm
Probably
sorry.
is so mad at you
I'm
right now.
so,
so mad right
you
now.
guys, I think I'm already mad about the
Are
movie.
we
and
two
I'm,
named women talking about a man right now?
Whoa!
Oh.
Whew.
That was loud on my ears.
Oh no!
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
But yeah,
Shocking.
Double Dan, Ewan McGregor does a pretty decent Al Guinness impression.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm into that.
For sure. I'll Molly Dan. No.
Yeah.
I'll double. Anyway, I also agree.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think? How many? I don't know, lightsaber toys.
The toy specifically.
Lightsaber toys. Sure.
Specifically
How many
the toy.
lightsaber toys do you think you'll give this one?
Oh man, you guys, I'm gonna be optimistic and say 2.
Wow.
That's optimistic for me because, like, I can't imagine that I will find more redeeming qualities watching it now than I did when I last watched it. You know what I mean? Like, I was already like, "Ooh, this is pretty rough."
Yeah.
And at this point, I mean, after 3 of these movies and now 2 more movies, one of which I've seen and one of which I'm told is good.
Right.
I'm just going to be even more heavily critical of, like, this. Because, like, I always, with the prequels especially, like, part of the reason I'm so critical about it is because, like, I was a big Star Wars kid, and I think the idea of this trilogy, like, the story that it is claiming to try to tell would be super cool and interesting. And half of my rage for these prequels is, like, how poorly that story is told.
Yeah, I think that's
You know what I
kind
mean?
of the general rage, right? It's
Yeah.
like the expectations were so high.
Yeah, because, like, and there's, like, the skeleton of the story is in these movies. Like, the idea of him turning into Darth Vader and the rise of the Emperor, like, both of those sound like, yes, these would be super cool stories to watch. There's going to be lasers, and also these 2 very interesting narrative arcs. And while those narrative arcs technically occur in these movies, they're just done, like, in such a frustrating way. Ugh. 1.5 lightsaber toys.
Oh,
man.
you talked yourself
wow.
down.
Wow. Man, what about you, Beth?
I'm gonna say 2, or just like 1 Darth Maul.
Sure.
Sure.
Darth Maul toy?
Yeah, because I'd like to. Sounds really silly, but because of the newer ones, I've been rewatching. I mean, we've kind of rewatched some of the Star Wars stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, I really love Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to like watch it and like further understand that world.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to get some historical background,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe I'll have some enjoyment from seeing like hints of things happening.
Sure.
But also realistically, I'm gonna hate it.
Oh, yeah, we should
So-
clarify for the nerds who aren't quite nerdy enough. This movie is still official canon, according to Disney.
Yeah.
So, this is still part of the story.
Wow.
I want to give this movie a chance
Yeah.
because I feel like I didn't hate it when I saw it,
Right?
and it got ganged up on
It did.
for sure.
For sure.
And I want it to not have to be as deserving as people think it is, but I'm worried it is.
Yeah.
But you want to have a glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to allow myself a new hope.
Oh.
Leave myself open to the possibility that this doesn't suck, and say 3.
Wow.
Oh.
But now I'm remembering that it's probably super long, so 2.
It's funny you should say that, Dan. I think we're on parallel tracks. My niece and nephew really like this movie, and they like them better than what I consider to be the original Star Wars films.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to open myself up enough, and probably I'll be imagining if I could remove, let's say, 20% of it, would I like this movie more? I don't know. I'm going to go with 3.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
I've got
Molly.
some room.
Yes.
Because someone has to be the optimist, and maybe we're all wrong.
You're an inspiration.
I
Yeah.
hope we're all wrong.
kids do love these movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? When they came out, like 6-year-olds
Went nuts.
were like, this is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was even, I think, Lucas's argument. It's like, they're kids' movies.
Yeah.
Oy, so let's put in some Senate stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Let's talk some policy.
Talk trade policy.
Yeah, for the grown-ups.
And with that, we're going to hit pause, and we'll be right back to talk about the Phantom Menace. And we're back. We've just watched 2 hours, 13 minutes at minimum of Star Wars Phantom Menace.
Episode 1, the fourth one.
The fourth one, the first one. Yeah.
Jar Jar's
it was
big
Jar Jar's big
day.
break.
Big break.
Big break.
Big day out.
Big day.
Jar Jar's day out.
Jar Jar juggles things and steps in poop.
That's kind of it, though. That's kind of what happened.
It was.
This movie, it was like an animated kids movie for 6-year-olds.
It was totally a kids movie. Like, now that you said that and I watched it again, I was like, oh, this is made for children.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh, adults, this movie that you really love, we're going to make it just for, like, people who have the sense of humor of, like, a 4-year-old.
Yeah. Remember when you watched this when you were 14 and thought it was awesome? Well, now you're 35. Or however fucking long. And now it's not for you anymore.
Right.
I think it's bad, but I think that, like, on top of that, that's why people are so mad. Because now you took the thing that was for me, and now it's for little children.
Yeah.
Like,
in
not
like
even
a
for the
really...
same age group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't say that the first ones were for little children.
Yeah. And also it was like, but it's like the kind of, it's like a kids, kids are dumb, right? Like, we can just acknowledge that.
I'll
But
agree.
you can make movies for dumb kids that are still good.
Yeah.
And this felt like it was not trying to accomplish both of those things.
No. It was like a bad kids movie.
Yeah.
It was just like all slapstick and like poop and fart jokes.
Well,
Yeah.
now to be fair, I think it like averaged out to age 14 because you had a lot of the slapstick
Oh, and then
Jar Jar stuff, and then you have just dull as dirt political talk about trade and taxes.
yeah, but like not enough where it actually gives you any sense of how this government actually operates.
Yeah. I had a hard time.
I really
paying attention.
still don't understand what their problem is or why.
Whose problem?
Like, okay,
Yeah, I
I
agree.
don't even know if it's worth going through, but there's like
Let's do it.
there's a tax on trade, and
Yeah.
so that one like problematic.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, right. We
jeez.
talked about that in the first half.
Yeah, the Asian.
We were open to like, maybe it was
merchants.
just like...
No,
It's totally
it was
crazy
straight
It's
up
real
racist.
bad. Like, for the first couple lines, I was like, maybe it's fine. But then,
Yeah.
like, at a certain point, there was just, like, a very specific inflection. I'm just like,
Yeah,
ooh, boy.
the head guy
Yeah, he was the worst.
was the worst.
Yeah.
If he hadn't been in it, everybody else would have been like, oh, maybe.
Whatever.
But he's like some real like.
Yeah.
I don't even want to do it. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It is bad.
Anyway.
So they want to trade or something.
They have favorable terms, and somehow clones get involved.
No, that's the second one.
Oh, why are there military?
They are...
Are they the military-industrial complex, or are they just like business people?
No, I think that's
the
the
Trade
idea, is that they're the trade
Federation.
federation, so they're technically, on their surface, they are, like...
like the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah,
or
they're like a
something.
merchant, or like they're a bunch of merchants that have banded together.
But they're all the same race.
That's confusing. Mm-hmm. And then for whatever reason, but then they're also like a front for the robot army. You know what I mean?
which is the Emperor runs,
Yeah.
but we don't know who the Emperor is.
Are they a front, or are they just in bed with bad people?
Well, they are in bed with bad people, but I mean, like, they're a front in the sense that they present themselves as like, oh, we're just blocking this planet as like protest or something, but they also have ships full of robot soldiers. And then when nobody believes them when they go to the Senate, like, that's why they're like, oh, we need proof that there's a robot army.
Well, that was all okay. So everything was manufactured to get Queen Amidala, who
Yeah,
was
she's the
elected,
queen.
by the way.
Yeah,
I
that is
apologize.
confusing.
She's
An
the
elected
elected
queen.
I made her a
queen.
princess in the first half.
It's okay. It's all right. She is. Queen Amidala, I think, is being manipulated by who we will later learn is the evil Emperor Sith Lord.
Yes, we'll later learn that.
Yeah,
We'll
we
later
didn't learn
learn
that
that.
in this one.
We
right?
did not.
No.
But she's
they
being
foreshadowed
manipulated.
it, maybe.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Maybe.
But they want her to call. The whole point is they want her to call for a vote of no confidence
Yeah.
in the Senate, so they can replace the chancellor with the bad emperor.
Okay.
Right.
And then she calls for the vote, and then everyone is like, no,
Yeah.
and then it happens.
Yeah, that part was very confusing, where it was like, she's like, I vote for no confidence, and then everyone was just like, harumph, watermelon. And then they just acted like, oh, it's done now.
Yeah.
Like, he has already been voted of no confidence,
Yeah.
even though no one apparently
Yeah,
took
he
a
just
vote.
sits down, just feeling very defeated.
Yeah.
And so which I would just say the pace of this movie and the cuts, and also can I just say it was as if they were challenged to use a different wipe for every time. Like, let's do the clock one.
Yeah.
But none of them were the right ones. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you're going to do a wipe, you go, especially if it's from, like, top to bottom or bottom to top, you would go bottom to top, because then you can see people's faces until the end of the scene. But what it would do is just cut off people's heads. It was terrible.
Yeah. Maybe he was just like, oh, you want wipes? I've got wipes up the wazoo now. Computers.
iMovie.
Yeah.
Wipe left. Look at this. I'll wipe right. Wipe from the middle. Look at that.
Oh,
Little
look, we'll do
circle.
a circle. Yeah, like a clock.
I mean, if we want to talk about pacing, like, I wrote this down because, like, as soon as it happened, I just realized, like, oh my god, this is the first scene that actually matters. Like, we literally could have started this movie, like, an hour in, where the Emperor and Darth Maul are walking together, and they basically say, like, now we're going to enact our plan. Finally, the Jedi will realize we still exist. Like, you could have started the movie there.
Is that
I
after
missed that.
after the vote of no confidence? I guess you don't really need to know how the Emperor became the Emperor.
Like, politically? Like, the actual political process?
Yeah.
Like, well, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, you could have just done that part, and then... No, that was before the vote of no confidence, so this totally checks out. Because Darth Maul had to go to Desert Planet to stand around on a cliff for 2 days while his robots told him where everyone was, and then he got in his super cool speeder bike.
Yeah.
I mean, we did need to see the pod race to know why Padma is so in love with Anakin.
Was that the idea? Like, he's
No.
such a hot racer that
he's
she's
a
like, I love
hot-
this 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This,
this 4-year-old is so attractive when
and
he
they all
races
started
cars.
singing that song from Grease
Yep.
about grease lightning,
Yeah.
pod
Oh.
lightning.
Yeah.
Gets the girls,
Pod
makes the girls
lightning.
cream.
Yep.
Space cream.
Space cream.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, the pod racing scene, like, I'm remembering, like, how people responded to the movie when it first came out, and how I'm now actually, like, processing this movie again. And I remember, like, that was one of the scenes where people were like, that part was cool, right? But no, that part wasn't cool. It was a cool idea, and then it was a half an hour long.
It was
Pod racing was really long.
so
Oh my
long.
god.
And there's like a two-headed commentator.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Sure.
Commentator. Color commentator.
Yeah.
One speaks an alien language,
Blah, blah, blah,
and,
blah, blah,
and the
blah,
other
blah.
head speaks English.
Yes.
Naturally.
Yeah.
And there's fart jokes that are included.
Yeah. I think he says, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, you see a lot of specifics about each of the racers
Yeah.
before the race even starts, and then immediately, like, one crashes.
Yeah.
So who cares?
There is at least 6 minutes minimum where they are just introducing the racers. Like, do we really need to know the names of all of these other space creatures that we know are going to lose? Because that's how movies work.
Are we going to prove how much we know about the Star Wars universe?
Oh, sure.
Then if we don't memorize this bullshit.
Is that just fan service to, like, bulk up Wikipedia?
I guess.
I mean, maybe those were, like, things that were in, like, all the, like,
fan fiction
and things,
The
like all
books?
the, like, novels and stuff that came
sure.
out, and like, for some people that was like, hey, it's that
It's
guy.
my favorite Square Man.
Yeah, Square Man.
He
or-
looks like a pizza.
You know what? I was just thinking about when we were talking about the age difference and the potential budding romance, although I would say right now it's fairly friendly / a little bit maternal, which is fairly creepy.
Yeah.
But I asked my phone how old Natalie Portman was when this movie came out, or in this movie, and it calculated to the day, which was super creepy. But it was basically, she was almost 18, so she was 17 years old. And I was realizing that it has been almost 17 years since that movie came out, right? Because it came out in 1999.
Yeah. Did it?
So it's like 17 or 18 years.
Yeah.
So Natalie Portman could have been born the day that movie came out, and she would be the same age now.
Whoa.
Yeah, mind blown.
Crazy.
So she's been Queen Amidala for half her life.
That's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Aww.
Poor Natalie Portman.
Oh, God,
Feel
it's so
so
hard.
bad for you.
Yeah, it must be rough.
There were so many moments. I mean, Natalie Portman, I feel like happened to her a lot, but it definitely happened to like every human character where like you could tell just by like the way their faces were just like lacking engagement with what they were doing and saying, that like there was nothing around them when that scene was filmed. You know what I mean? Like there were so many times where it was like clearly George Lucas just being like, "There's a thing over there, react to it."
Like not even a stand-in.
You can't see it. It's gonna be there. It's gonna be crazy. Or like, I mean, and honestly, like, I don't think there had to have been at least a couple of like weird quick shots of Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor looking at each other where those two were not on set together. Like just the way they like did not in any way look even at the right place where the other person's body should have been.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Although I do like the image of Jar Jar Binks just being George Lucas suspending a tennis ball on a fishing rod and just like following Liam Neeson around. Like, now he's over here.
He's just like smiling and pointing at it.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, check this out."
Now he's gonna fall down.
Yeah. Oh, now he's stepping in poop. Now say Jar Jar.
Oh, man, I feel like George Lucas's relationship with actors must be so interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, the running joke is that actors are the props that talk. You know? But I feel like for him, actors are the props that spout exposition.
Yes.
Like, if you could read every piece of dialogue and it would read like a radio show. Like, you actually don't need any visuals for a film that was made to be an incredible budget towards visual and sound effects.
Yeah, like every character in this movie was just like an extension of like George Lucas, the Dungeon Master. You know what I mean? Like they are just like, oh, now he's using his. You know, like that was half of the lines was just like he might as well have just been George Lucas behind a screen, just being like, and then the flappy winged salesman says that he can't be tricked by Jedi mind powers. Roll for initiative.
I kind of want to see a breakdown of sentence length in this movie compared to other ones, because I feel like every line was like a 5-word sentence that was just what we were already seeing.
Right. There was no sass.
Like, oh, it's blowing up. There's a big shield generator.
Right.
That boy's Jesus.
Like, you are a slave.
Yeah.
I am a slave. You are a slave.
Yeah.
Isn't that the thing, though, with, they say about authors who write great works is that their first work is usually very impactful and condensed, but then as they go, their books get longer and less focused.
For sure.
Because editors stop editing.
Yeah.
I will say, in my Cartoon Network days, we got to work with Lucasfilm, and the way Lucasfilm at that time, and this was many years ago, worked was George Lucas was basically the voice of God. And there were like 6 people who had access to George Lucas, and they would just say what he had said. So if you had any sort of request or anything that was happening or any questions, the answer would just come down to you. It would just be like, George said no. And if somebody tells you that George said no, you don't have any recourse. You can't be like, well, can I ask God?
Yeah.
Because it's basically the role he plays. And I just wonder about like what that does to a creative process when you have somebody who is not spoken to except in these very reverent.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I almost wonder if that's how like these movies were made too, because you almost wonder if like Liam Neeson is standing around in like a bathrobe in a green screen
Or poncho.
yes, depending on which part of the movie. and he's just standing there, and he's just like, what the fuck happens in this scene? You know what I mean? Like, just talking to, like, some page. Like, so where's the frogman? He's over here?
And what's he doing? Do I care?
Do I care? George says...
George Lucas is tying up his tennis
Yeah,
ball.
exactly. Okay, Liam,
Like
George...
hiding in a tree.
Liam,
like
George says that Jar Jar's gonna try to eat a frog in this scene, and then he's gonna trip over another alien, and so you have to turn around and say like, Jar Jar, get over here.
I don't want to do the line read for you, but I think you're a little
George
irritated. But George says make it more wooden.
Right?
George says scale it back.
Yeah.
You know what? Just read it off the page.
Yeah. Okay, Natalie. George says. George says the Chinese lizard man is gonna tell you to sign a treaty, but you don't want to sign a treaty, so you say no. I'm not gonna sign a treaty.
But don't say it that angrily. Just say
No, because you're a queen.
no.
You're a queen. You don't talk like that. Just say no. I'm not gonna sign it.
Yeah.
But full disclaimer, I have no idea how it works now. This was many, many years
Sure.
ago.
Dan, you bet 80% of this movie didn't need to happen.
Yes, I stand by that.
I'd almost go higher.
Yeah.
Higher percentage.
Here's what I think could... This would literally, like... You could take 3 scenes from this movie and have that be the beginning of the movie. Then do all of the second movie. Boom, 1 movie. And then you have an entirely fresh movie open. Like, you've already told the world, I'm going to make a trilogy, right?
Yeah.
You then have a whole other movie to do all the fun parts of this story. You know, like where the guy turns evil and like becomes this like horrible monster that we know iconically, instead of 45 minutes of him racing around saying yippee and sort of having a relationship with his mother.
Oh, wait, when you say yippee, do you literally mean he says the word yippee?
I do.
Yeah.
I do actually.
And
Says
how many
yippee.
times does it happen?
I don't know, at least 3 times.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's more than
4.
once.
My favorite is that the first time we learn he says yippee is when his slave master tells him, you can go home for the day.
After you clean up the shelves.
Yippee, he says. I am a slave. I get to go home.
Yeah.
Yippee.
Oh, can we talk about his relationship with his mother?
Yes, please.
It takes him like 40 minutes to figure out that he's being set free and his mom isn't. And then he's not that upset about it.
He's more confused.
He's such a jerk.
I
Well,
found
you
that
guys, I
part...
guess he is Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
I found that very upsetting how not upset he was that he was leaving his mother behind.
Yeah.
I found the whole they are slaves element very unsettling on like at every point that it came up. Because like at one point, the weird like sea monkey pod racer, right?
Yeah.
Like they're talking trash at each other.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you weren't a slave, I'd smash you. And it's like, is that George Lucas's understanding of like how slavery works?
Yeah, and then his retort is, yeah, you wouldn't want to have to pay for me. That's what Anakin says.
Again, though, like I feel like
How expensive can a 5-year-old boy be?
I don't know, it's an investment. It's right at the beginning.
and honestly, like
Oh my god.
It's horrifying. I'm sorry.
And and then also like okay, they even established like. I think at one point Liam Neeson's like, I thought slavery was illegal in the Republic or whatever. And they're like, we're in the outer system, so nobody pays attention. So to my mind, I feel like at that point, Liam Neeson, who's like, I could only free the boy, he probably could have been like, oh, this is the fucking Wild West, and I'm like a space cop. I'm just going to take the mom too.
He's a Jedi.
Right?
And he can't save her. Like, clearly, she is so heartbroken that she can't even say words out loud.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, he's
which
like-
kudos to that actress
Yeah.
for making that a
Anything
character
at
choice.
all, yeah.
She was actually the best.
She was pretty good.
You could tell she had been forced into playing a very muted character,
Mm-hmm.
but she still packed in a reasonable amount of emotion.
Yeah.
But it was also so weird. Like, if you were on your own and a slave and her work
Who knows?
Unclear what her work is,
terrifying.
Yeah.
which is scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, did we all remember that he doesn't have a father?
I did.
I did not,
I did not
remember that. So I don't understand how because you kept mentioning Jedi Jesus, and I was like, well, that's weird, because he wears a robe, and then it's like, no, because there is no father, and I don't understand setting up this really beautiful kind of spiritual thing. And even without that spiritual element, the whole like measuring of blood.
Yeah.
I just, and then it's like the what are they, mitochondria? What are they called?
Midichlorians.
Midichlorians.
I
Midichlorians
don't know.
are the father?
Apparently.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that
came
was
up in the Jedi
really
Council.
frustrating.
Yeah, like the Force was like...
He was conceived by force bugs.
Yeah.
Because they are
I don't like
alive and
Right.
live in your blood.
Right.
So
Why
they...
can't you just get a blood transfusion and then you become a Jedi?
Oh, yeah. Why didn't you do that?
I'm sure like somebody's covered
Maybe
this
it's
on
like
the internet.
another type of blood, and so it's not compatible.
Space blood.
Oh,
Type O,
space blood.
you have
Is
type M.
Do you suppose it's
For-
like blood is just like a shorthand for it and it's not blood at all? No, because he actually just took a blood
Oh, he
sample
took
and
a
said
blood
it's going to
sample.
upload. He said,
I think it said it's in their
what
cells.
Is
though.
the CSI? It's just gross.
It's weird. It's a weird, like, eugenics level.
Yeah, and also
No.
why bother?
Yeah, I
Why
know.
bother with this?
Right.
With the whole time we've been sensing things. That's what the Force is all about.
Right.
Can't you just, like we've said before, that the Force is strong with this one?
Yeah.
Just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just use Force sense it.
Yeah.
That's what makes it a fantasy
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it
as
wasn't like...
opposed to a science
Yeah.
fiction.
Yeah.
Wasn't the whole idea in the first couple movies just like, oh, it's just this thing that's everywhere. And
Yeah.
some people
Yes.
are good at it. So why couldn't you just be like, wow, he's so good at it? Moving on.
George Lucas was mad that people were like, well, actually, Star Wars is a fantasy set in a futuristic
Maybe.
environment. And he's
Joseph
like,
Campbell.
no, this is science fiction.
Look, I've got blood bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
maybe.
super mechano racers.
I don't know. I just don't know why any of it happened.
I know
That's
why.
really frustrating.
I know why. Because they needed another conversation to take up 20 minutes of this movie.
What? I mean, I just...
We sighed a lot.
Yeah.
There
was
was-
There was a
listening to
lot
us.
of audible sighs.
We were having a hard time watching this movie.
And we were trying to like it
yeah.
really bad.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say, I enjoyed the 3 times that Dan Linden collapsed to the side and covered his head with his
That only happened 3
composition book.
times?
Oh,
It
at
was-
one point I thought you were eating your notebook.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
I did write down some things I liked.
Oh,
Okay,
great.
good.
Oh, I
Want to
like
hear
this.
about them?
Positive
Yes.
spin.
The big fish.
Yeah.
I
What?
liked the big
Sure.
fish.
Oh,
Those
the
are cool.
underwater
The one that
scene.
ate another fish?
Yeah.
Just all the fish. Just the big
Oh.
fish. Just big fish.
That there
in
were
general.
so many big fish in there.
Can I bring us down on that though for
Yeah.
a second? I liked that there was a big fish and then it got eaten by another big fish.
Right.
Yeah.
But then it happened, the same thing happened a second time.
Yeah,
and
I'll
then I
agree
was
with that.
like, did that need to happen?
Yeah, mostly the first big fish.
Right.
And then it was a down
Yeah.
Diminishing returns.
diminishing returns on
Yeah.
fish.
Evolution.
Oh.
Yeah. Also, there's like, it's unsustainable ecosystem of those giant fish.
There's- yeah,
the,
like there's-
the amount of calories they have to intake, forget about
There's
it.
got to be like maybe 2 of those fish in the entire planet, right?
Yeah, and they're also going through the planet's core,
And they don't even show that.
which is water. That's not how planets
I don't
work.
know. I wasn't clear on that either.
So I like those fishes.
Okay. Was that it?
There was like a big yak creature that I
Yeah,
thought was
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
cool looking.
Yeah.
They were in the
That
originals.
was a good one.
And Anakin's friends.
Oh, the kids.
MVPs.
The kids were
They
the
were the
best.
MVPs of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
MVPs.
Let's go down the line.
His best friend, who's in the most,
Yep.
along with little Greedo,
Yeah.
are
Do you
two
think that
of the-
actually is him? Like as a child?
It might be. He was
I
kind
think
of
it's
a
supposed to be
chubster.
Greedo.
Yeah.
Is it really?
I think so, right?
That'd be so
Isn't that
great.
how that whole movie worked? Was like, remember this thing you liked from the other movies?
Sure.
But
R2,
I mean,
Jabba the Hutt.
I saw more of those aliens like in the crowd at the pod race.
Sure.
But I mean, let's just pretend.
Sure.
That makes that even better.
Yeah.
And he had a frying pan for some
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah, but they were just like the shade that his
making eggs.
best friend was
Oh,
throwing
so
was
good.
great
So good.
at Amidala.
What did he say? It was like, oh, he's building a racer, of course.
Yeah, that like rolled his eyes.
Ugh. Dumb 17-year-old.
Yeah, but my favorite kid was the little red-haired kid.
Yep.
With one line.
Who had one line.
good.
When all the other kids are like done looking at the pod racer, he's like, "Oh, it's done. Let's get in here and let's go play ball." It's like a thick Long Island. Oh, I got cast in this movie. Hey,
Hey,
it's me, little boy. Do you play ball?
it's me, little boy.
Do you think that Do you think that kid was the son of the actor who played the pilot at the end? Who's just like, oh, they've got a shield generator.
Jeez, that shield's
God,
so
the
big.
shield's so big.
What? Now it's exploded? What happened?
How are we gonna take out this shield generator? Oh, from Naboo. Get out of here.
Get out of here with your Gungans. What?
Oh, wait, now we got the Gungans on our side. Now I gotta go shake hands with a frogman. We should have stayed in bed today.
What a week I'm having.
First, my wife leaves me.
My kid lost his ball. Out at the pod track.
Oh, MVPs.
So I did really like that family. The circle elevators.
Yep.
Oh, at the pod race thing?
That's
That's a nice
cool.
little element.
They're like the those things at Valley Fair, which is an amusement park in Minnesota. They're like you
the
ride-
tower.
Yeah, the tower, and then you
Yeah.
get shot up really fast, or you
Yeah.
fall really fast.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
It looked cool. That was the first time in the whole movie where I was like, that's cool. I like that thing.
Well, that was sort of how I felt. I don't know. I feel like that was how I felt about this movie, and also like how this movie tricks you, and how it tricked everybody back when it came out. Because I think Beth, you kind of talked about this in the first half, where like that universe is so imaginative and fun. That there
fun.
are like elements of it where you're just like, yes, your brain is just like, what a wonderful playground.
Yeah.
But then like as soon as you actually start paying attention to what's actually happening, you're just like, oh god,
Well, and
what
it,
a slog.
yeah, and it didn't have like a lot of the things that I like about Star Wars movies,
Yeah.
like space.
Right.
There weren't a lot of stars involved.
No, certainly.
They're mostly on the planet.
Yeah.
And like something they have, like the movies have these like really cool landscapes that you would never see like anywhere else, and they have like multiple suns or like I can't even like think of any specifics, but it's just things that you would never see. And then this movie, it's like you're in like Moab or something.
Yeah.
For the pod racing.
There's
And
some
then
cool parts. Like the city is really beautiful, and it's got waterfalls.
yeah.
There's some cool shots. But I know what you mean. A
But
lot
like
of
where
it's
the
so
battle
drab.
the battle to me looks like the like
Oh yeah.
Windows Vista,
Yeah.
like the background that came with
Oh,
Windows
yeah.
Vista.
For sure.
The green field.
For sure.
That's what it looks like to me.
Well, yeah. That was
I can't say where my inspiration for the CGI came from, but
There's flying windows in the scene.
I felt that about most of the movie was like everything that was presented in a way where it was supposed to be exciting or interesting was just boring. Like that first whole chunk of the movie, I feel like the whole part where they're like running away from the, they're like Qui-Gon Jinn is melting through a door. They're swinging their lightsabers at robots.
yeah.
They're swimming through an underwater city and getting chased by big fish. Like it was all presented like this is great, right, guys? What a fun romp. But it was not fun.
No.
It was just very bland.
There were no stormtroopers.
Well, sure.
it's just like
I mean, canonically,
pre-Stormtrooper.
they have to be created first for the clone.
Yeah, let's see them being
Well, right.
created.
That's why you have the 10 minutes of this movie, then the second movie.
Exactly. I'm
Oh,
agreeing.
God.
Well, but that was our problem too with the Roger. What are those guys called?
Fucking droids.
Droids.
The
The
droid army.
droids. Is
I
there-
like
in some-
the droids.
Yeah, in some ways they're like fun. Like they kind of look like dogs.
Yeah.
You know, they got like the friendly head, and there's some comic relief. But then they're also armed to the gills, and,
Right.
And it's so confusing.
It was confusing because they're presented as like the major threat to like this entire civilization, but they're also like silly little clown cartoon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's like it can't. At no point do they. Like I get it if they're supposed to also be funny because like the stormtroopers are goofballs sometimes in the old trilogy, but like the
Yeah.
stormtroopers also like occasionally actually like hurt people
Yeah.
or like caused any sort of harm,
Yeah.
whereas the robots just seem to like walk towards people with guns and then occasionally fire them blindly.
Yeah, there's not, like, they're not, because they're also the comedic relief, kind of, there isn't, like, really a scary, except for Darth Maul, but he's only in 2 scenes or something like
Yeah.
that he's actually fighting or doing something. And do you ever see him kill anyone before that fight scene?
No, because he's waiting around.
He's too
to
busy
find
standing
his-
around with his
like,
arms crossed.
So that's, like, not even that, like, scary and
yeah.
exciting.
I did enjoy those roly robot things that
Yeah.
had the shield in front
Yeah,
of
those were
them.
cool.
Those
Yeah.
were cool and scary.
How did we know they had shields?
Because they
It's like a force
Yeah.
field.
The first time they showed up.
Is there another reason?
It's because they said, they have shield
Say it out loud.
as soon as they came out.
I
That's
see.
how we know.
I didn't realize you were leading us. That was a leading question.
I was like, there are multiple reasons why we know that they
I
have
think
shields.
that's a good point about Darth Maul, that he doesn't, like, you have to set up that a villain is bad
Yeah.
by, like,
Yeah.
making him do something shitty or, like, be a badass
Yeah.
before they do the fight where
Yeah.
they
Kick the
kill
dog.
the guy.
Yeah.
Exactly. He has, like, crazy force powers because
Right.
he, like, picks... What does he pick up and he, like, throws it across the room?
I think it's like one of those little droid things.
Yeah,
right?
like, he's the force is strong
Yeah.
with him. So
Well, we don't know unless they measure his
That's a good point. But why don't we see him like do that air choke thing or something? Like he's not threatening at all.
He just
he's
stands
like,
around with his
there.
arms crossed.
He's
He
like,
should
look
have
at he's
been-
got a horn crown.
Yeah, he should have been in like most of the movie. Like I don't care if he's like directly confronting Liam Neeson until the end, that's fine. But like he should have showed up in like minute 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of just like suddenly halfway through they're talking.
That's true. We never get him back.
No,
It's not
like they're
he-
just talking to the hologram emperor for the 8th time, and then suddenly it's like, I'm also here, and he's like, I'm sending this guy to help you, and then he stands around for a while, and
Yeah.
that's all he does.
It's like if in A New Hope, Darth Vader like just wasn't around until he killed Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
well,
Like if
who
a
cares?
door opened and he was just like, Darth Vader, I knew we'd meet
Samurai.
again.
Yeah. But he's
And
like
then Darth
spending
Vader
that
dies
movie,
right after that.
Yeah,
yeah.
Aw.
but he's spending that movie like being a badass.
Yeah,
like,
it's
force
great.
choking generals and shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
and torturing princesses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
real
Like they
jerk.
set him up, and I mean, he shows up in the first 5 minutes of A New Hope, where it's like literally like the door explodes and the crazy robot space samurai walks in, and his super cool music theme is under it.
Yep.
Whereas with this, it's just like, you see this cool guy? Do you like the character design? It's pretty fun, right? He's going to show up for the last 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and then no longer be a threat for the next 2 movies.
But think how many glasses we're gonna move with his face on it.
God damn it.
Jar Jar sippy cups.
Yeah, like the fact that I think that's when I first saw this movie, that is when I kind of was like, oh, I see.
Also, I like speaking about things that we love. Like, I love Yoda so much, and I love like the idea of a council of Jedis.
Yes.
Well, a council of Jedis just sits in like lazy boy chairs.
And denies
And
the
chats.
protagonist.
Yeah,
That's
denies
their
the
whole job.
protagonist and takes their time speaking.
Oh, so
Yeah, the council's so boring.
There
It is
were at
so
least 3
boring.
cuts of either Samuel L. Jackson, Yoda, or Big Forehead Guy thoughtfully stroking their chin in silence.
Can women be Jedis?
Yes.
So, but there aren't any on the council.
Unclear.
Okay.
I mean, it was a whole circle.
Yeah,
so...
but I didn't see like half of the circle.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
in
that was the
theory,
ladies'
half
circle.
of it was.
Yeah, it's probably the ladies'
Yeah,
circle.
but they don't get to talk during the meetings.
No.
They're
just
knitting.
nod.
They're knitting.
They're knitting.
Gotta be
They're
something.
making like little like cozies for their lightsabers.
Or like those ponchos.
Oh yeah.
Here,
That's what-
Qui-Gon, take this with you. It's too hot there.
for your bathrobe.
Speaking of women,
Yeah.
this passed Bechdel Wallace test.
So barely. Barely.
Yeah.
Like, barely.
Yeah.
There was one scene, right, where...
Amidala and Mom, who we assumed was named.
She does have a name. I looked it up, and I think it's. I want to say. Shmi? I believe it was SCMI.
Shmi Skywalker?
Smite...
I might be saying it wrong, and there might be more letters and
But she
different
is
letters.
named.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like in the intro. There's a point where he's like, "Mom, these are my friends," and there's like an introduction part there. I believe she's named in that, or maybe she's named in the later
think
movie.
She said...
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
maybe...
Ooh, or maybe
Does that
Flappy
count?
Dude. Maybe Flappy Dude says her name earlier.
I don't think he
Like,
ever
his
does.
mother's Shmi.
I think it's got to be named in the movie that you're watching
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
the movie.
I think-
Yeah, I agree.
I think she is named.
I don't know. I'm going to stick to my guns.
I verified on the Bechdel test that it did pass.
Really?
There's a
Oh.
website that
Yeah.
says,
Really?
yeah, look it up. It's very interesting, that website. Because it's
Oh.
like,
Do they describe how?
yeah.
And
And,
it's-
And then
and
sometimes
the
people
comments
fight
were
in the
all like,
comments.
this was too close to not passing. Like, everyone was like, barely.
Mm-hmm.
And the argument on the site was that there were men present
Ooh.
in the discussion, and they're like, well, that's not part of it. But
Right.
it is true. They were sitting at a table
Yeah.
with a bunch of dudes.
Dan, you thought you would hate all the CGI characters.
Yes.
We talked about the Chinese merchants, who aren't CGI, I don't think. Are they?
I don't know. It was unclear.
I think so.
You
Or
think so?
at least their mouths
I think
are.
maybe, yeah, I think their faces maybe.
Okay.
And the mouth movement
Very
did
weird.
not match up with them talking at all.
No. It was, I still, to this day, I don't understand why after like 3 movies of just puppets and subtitles, he was like, let's have them all speak English with weird accents. You know what I mean? Like, it worked in the first movies where it's just like, they all just understand each other, who cares?
Yeah.
And that's part of the fun, is it's like this like alien language.
Right.
Yeah, well, maybe they don't want kids to have to read.
Ugh. But like,
need to read.
but like, seahorse racer
And Quato
and Flappy Dude, they
Warto.
had subtitles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you hate Flappy Taper Batman?
Yes.
He did
Specifically,
not taper.
we've already talked. I mean, we talked about in the first episode that he's like very, like he's also one of the sort of problematic, like, ooh, that's an interesting character choice for this, like shifty merchant in a, I don't know, it was uncomfortable.
Outpost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was weird that he was like a like lizard bat, but then had stubble.
Yeah.
Like he apparently grew hair in only his chin.
Yeah. I
He
didn't
had
like
a
that
gross
at all.
neck beard.
It really grossed me out.
Yeah, I hated
That
him.
was really problematic.
He was just problematic and just annoying. Although he did give me my favorite moment of the movie, where he introduced the idea of a chance
You
cube.
were quite smitten with the
A
chance.
chance cube, for the listeners at home who don't remember, is basically like a simple player's die. Or dice. Which one is it?
Die.
What, single one?
Six-sided
Single
dice.
is-
Six-sided die. Except instead of pips, it had what appeared to be some Sharpie ink crudely drawn on each side.
Yeah, either blue or red.
Either blue or red. Which means that there was... I don't know. It was amazing. What was great, though, is earlier in the movie, Qui-Gon lies and says that he won the fastest pod racer in the land on a game of chance. Which I just thought was a turn of phrase. Turns out, there's actually apparently a game called Chance, where you use a chance cube, I assume.
Oh, I just thought it was a generic name for die.
Sure.
Oh, so he
Chance
lies.
cube.
He lies
He
a bunch.
lies so much in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Are Jedi supposed to lie?
Obi-Wan lied in the first one.
Ugh.
Yeah, they're
Remember?
tricky.
Because he was like, oh, Darth Vader killed your father. And then he was like, well, it was sort of poetic that he murdered your father in a metaphorical sense. And then he created himself to be Darth Vader.
Anyway, I've got to go back to my cave.
Anyway, I'm going to go be a ghost. Oh, I don't know. I lost it. I kind of lost the accent there. I'm a ghost. Okay.
Oh, speaking of losing accents. Oh, there's one, like, really lovely moment where Natalie Portman, she just, like, she's going for British, and something happens, and it's basically, I'll be right back, y'all. Like, it's,
So southern.
We're in a space fight.
and I just feel
Really?
like, come on, give her another take, man.
Yeah, right?
Nope.
No.
Oh, you one take Lucas.
One take.
King Jar Jar.
King Jar Jar?
Yeah, the King of the
King
Gungans.
of the-
Oh, the
Did
big
you also
boss.
hate him?
Yes, of
I
course
did.
I did. How could you not?
Every time he would just like shake his face,
Yeah.
and all his slobber would come out.
Mr. Big Fat Cartoon Man. Mr. Talk way too long for me purpose in movie.
Oh,
Me need to just give you the army and go away.
Yeah, there were a lot of, I don't know, like 30-second conflicts that didn't need to happen.
Right?
Or like Quato, or,
Oh, yeah, that was amazing.
or it's just like, we'll make this thing. No,
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
wanna.
do it.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, where it was literally like, no, I won't do it. Oh, why don't we talk to Jabba the Hutt? Okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
oh my gosh, you guys, this is how, so my nephew right now is writing a story for school,
Yeah.
and they're following the hero's journey. And he let me read, like, he's actually still writing it, but he let me read it on his Google Drive, and it was amazing, but it was exactly like this. It was like, it was impossible. Then they finished it.
Right.
And like, wait, what?
And that's adorable when a child does it.
Yeah.
But when like a 50-plus-year-old man who has made billions of dollars with this franchise doesn't bother to think like, maybe someone else should read the script before we turn on the cameras.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
By the way, the story was excellent.
Of course it was.
So much happened. It was like Jurassic Park meets, I don't even know, like, I guess Fast and Furious.
That sounds
it was
amazing.
fantastic.
Sounds good.
That sounds great. What if you just cut Jar Jar out of the movie?
Be- It would be 100 times better.
It'd be 100 times better. It would still be a shitty movie. Because everything would still be so sterile. That's what
Why
it is.
did he get to go with everything?
I don't know. I don't understand that. Like, literally every time they're like, now we have to go talk to this important person. Frogman, follow along.
And he's just like running around in the background touching stuff all the time.
Like, it'd be one thing if it was just like, Jar Jar, hold this for me, or something. Because, like, I get it where he's like, now, you belong to me. That's how I saved your life. And that's fine. Good for... Okay. But now...
That makes it even more problematic.
Yeah, because that's even worse. Because
gross.
he tricks fat Jar Jar to let him keep Jar Jar to save his life, right? So he thinks, like, this frogman got in my way, but then showed me where to swim. So I'm going to save his life and take him with me.
Yeah.
On the other hand... the mother of Space Jesus is a slave on a desert wasteland. I can't do anything about it.
Well, he can't mind trick Taper Bat.
Well, just fucking pull out the sword and be like, I'm going to take her now. And then he'd be like, oh, I'm going to call the Hutts on you. He'd be like, fine.
They're
and then
giant slugs that
Just
don't
walk
move.
out of there.
just leave.
Why can't don't they have enough extra money to buy her freedom?
Right?
No,
They're
he
Jedi.
only had some kind of credit. He needed the other kind of credit.
Oh, really?
Didn't he say that?
Probably.
No.
So he needed to go, like,
To
an exchange.
Yeah.
Currency exchange.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have time for that.
I got to go all the way to the other side of the planet to exchange currency? No, thank you.
Sorry, lady, you're here on your own.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I get that they need a reason for what's his name to get mad. And
They should have just-
Come up with a better reason.
Just honestly, like, as horrible as it is, just kill her in the first
Yeah.
movie then.
She should have been killed.
Right? Well, because, like... if
Darth
you're-
Maul should have killed her.
Yeah.
Yeah. From a storytelling
That'd be
perspective, yeah.
amazing.
He's already on that planet, just standing around.
And then you could have kept him for the next 3 movies so that it actually would have mattered.
Yeah, that bot should have come in quicker, so he wasn't waiting there for 2 days. And been like, hey, they're right here. And then he should have shown up and then killed the mom.
Yeah.
And then Anakin Skywalker is like,
Whoa.
I want to become a Jedi.
I'm traumatized, but also...
like, I need to, like, beat this Sith. And then he wants to get trained.
Well,
Can
but
we-
then, like, I feel like then...
You just solved the movie.
Just solve the movie.
But then Yoda would have smelled that on him, right?
Well, he already
Sure, he
smelled
already did. He was like, oh, you're full of fear.
generic fear. That was another part I was irritated at. Like, he's not a character that seems afraid of things.
No, not at all.
Like, that's not the thing to pick.
Yeah.
Or if it is,
Seems angry
show
and
it.
petulant and shitty,
Yeah.
but not fearful.
No.
Yeah, well, but then when Yoda would have been like, I sense anger in you.
Right.
Yeah.
He would, like,
That would have made way more sense.
Yes.
Because then it'd be like, no, I don't. And then, like, kicked him in his little Yoda shin.
Yeah. I had 2 other things I liked for this movie.
Boom.
Oh.
The race sounds, the pod racing
Yeah,
sounds.
they're
so
great.
good.
Really good. And the other was the crab chair that the Asian
Oh,
traders
yeah.
had.
That was great.
I liked it because it unnecessarily moved when, like, they were talking to the Emperor.
Oh, the hologram with legs?
Yeah.
that was
Is
so
that what-
weird.
Oh, you're talking about the
There
other
was one when he was in it.
Yeah.
It was the same kind of chair. Same chair technology.
Yeah.
I feel like the hologram, whoever won the hologram prize, like really advocated hard for as much hologram
Yeah.
action as
like
possible.
We really need to convey this is how they communicate.
Yeah, right.
Except for they also communicate using walkie-talkie.
Right. Sometimes.
And screens, right?
Yeah, sometimes
And they have
screens, too.
iPads with horns on them.
Yeah.
Oh, I just remembered that there was that amazing moment where the Emperor hologram was not moving, but the 2 aliens were moving and were just like walking around it for no reason.
It was like, it reminded me of like my sophomore, a dance that I went to my sophomore
Yeah.
year, and I danced with a boy, and we just like turned in a circle.
Yes.
Slow dance, and then I realized halfway through the dance that I was like, have we just been turning in a circle?
That's how you slow dance.
Yeah, that's what slow dance is.
Then what happens?
And I walked away so quickly.
Yes. I
It's
was
fine. It was not meant to be.
Okay,
Oh,
no,
okay.
that's fair.
No,
That's
that's
fair.
I was also irritated by the
I
setup.
just want to say I enjoyed that story more than I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Take that,
It
George
had a good arc.
Lucas.
The setup of the Senate.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
I don't know.
It's like a huge space.
Gigantic.
And they're all on the edge of a bowl
Yeah.
in flying saucers.
Yeah.
And they're broadcasting, but also they have to fly up,
Right.
And like they can like fly at each other
Yeah.
when they have like
Arguments.
Like, yeah,
It's like they're in bumper cars.
yeah.
I feel like if I were in one of those like upper seats, that I wouldn't be able to hear anything that was happening. It'd just be like echoey yelling.
I feel like I
It's like a
assume that there were
drive-in
speakers,
movie.
right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
assume every little saucer had
Do they
speakers.
just turn it to the radio station?
Is
And,
there
like-
another saucer with food coming around?
Yeah, right. And like, but there's like one senator who like brought like a handheld radio and starting to interfere with everything. It's like, God damn it, Terrence!
One of them keeps turning their lights on.
And then a couple senators are necking. And then,
Yeah. But then they get murdered.
Oh,
Ooh. I just want to go on the record. I've never seen Dan Jaquette so demoralized
I love it.
by
Oh my
any
God.
movie
Yeah.
we've
You're
ever
like-
really
experienced.
upset.
we
Ever-
literally got here to record the second half, and you looked heartbroken from minute one.
Even the movies we hated, I liked hating.
Yeah,
Like Freaky Friday.
yeah.
No.
I got excited about.
I had a great time watching Freaky Friday.
Oh, I
So it
hated
was
that
just
movie.
a real bummer. I couldn't even like riff during it.
Oh man! And then there's an awkwardness too between, and this is before the ending. Sorry guys,
No,
I'm going
it's
back
fine.
to
It's
like
fine.
after Darth Maul
Yeah.
has died, but he's fatally wounded.
Wait, who's fatally wounded?
No, he fatally wounded somebody.
Qui-Gon.
Oh, and Liam
Qui-Gon.
Neeson's like dying.
He's
Right,
dying.
Yeah.
Are you gonna talk about his
And-
fingers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead. Dave.
No, this is all you.
No, I was gonna say the person that didn't phone it in was Liam Neeson's subtle finger touching.
Yeah. Molly, can you describe it for our listeners? 'Cause I feel like you felt it at its most visceral.
So Ewan McGregor, who plays Obi-Wan Kenobi, is cradling, and I think in a very intimate, sweet way, to the
Yeah.
point that Beth was chanting,
Kiss.
kiss.
Like there is some
I
sudden
mean,
subtext there.
Yeah, I was like watching that. I was like, they could have been lovers.
Yeah.
Could
There's
have
no
been.
reason why they weren't.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's
that's
very...
kind of an odd power dynamic then, if he's the master.
that's true.
Ooh,
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Also, aren't Jedi
that doesn't mean that
celibate?
it didn't
I
happen.
don't know. It's unclear.
Well, at any rate, clearly there is this. The scene is already radiating intimacy that George Lucas was not able to shut down, and it's like beautifully framed, and everything about it is going really well. It's just like last words, and then Liam Neeson reaches just one finger up
Ooh, it's just...
to like touch Ewan McGregor's cheek, but it's like it's that uncanny valley between like actual like physical contact, intimacy, and no reach, and it just honest to God looks like you got some jam on
Yeah.
your chin. Like, can I get that? Like, I don't.
Can I present a theory for why that happened?
Yes.
Okay, so as you said, there is this intimacy and passion that George Lucas cannot shut down, right? These two actors
Have finally gotten to do a scene together.
Right. They've finally gotten to like just do their own thing. They have been working on this. They are professional actors. They're like, we are men who are bonded through war and whatever,
Yeah.
friendship or whatever. And then, like, literally as the scene is happening, like, that producer comes by to Liam Neeson and is like, okay, George says you're gonna die now. But remember, just internalize the fact that your Force ghost is gonna join the metachlorian pool that will balance out the Force, and like just keeps talking about like what this means for the Force. And Liam Neeson just like is losing, and he's trying to keep that moment, but he can't quite do it. And then George is right there with the tennis ball and the fishing rod.
I mean, it's like it's a great impulse, but I don't know how to explain.
No, he didn't stick the landing.
The other finger move Liam
Ooh.
Neeson did was when he was
What?
comforting
Oh yeah,
Anakin's mom.
yeah, that was weird.
Like, held her by the shoulder, like, firmly,
Yep.
fine.
Yep.
But then
Little
kind of just rubbed gently with his thumb.
rub.
Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of, he's
was
hitting on her.
weird.
That was intimate.
Yeah.
And
He's an
it's-
intimate guy.
And you would think that moment of intimacy, he would suddenly think like, no, this is a fellow human being. I care for their safety.
Yeah.
I'm going to take out my fucking laser sword and liberate her from slavery.
Maybe he didn't liberate her because he was in love with her. Or he felt so strongly
Oh,
attracted
like,
to
and
her.
he knew
couldn't
that
be
that was the
distracted.
path to the dark side,
Yeah.
or whatever the lesson of the second movie
Yeah.
is.
There's a lot of planets she could live on.
Yeah, right?
This was rough, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to watch the other two.
But before we get to how we really felt, we like to read a review of our show on iTunes.
Right.
Or another site if you tell us about it.
Yep.
In an impression of someone from the movie. We like to do that, but we don't have any new reviews, so we're not going to. You could have heard an impression. I don't know.
You could have gotten a 5-star review read as Fat Frogman or something.
Yeah. Probably not the Asian...
No, I don't think any of us
thing.
were going to embrace that one.
You want to read that comment that we got on Instagram?
Okay.
Sure.
Which character are you going to do?
I'll do Queen Amidala. The Gremlins app is great.
Oh, Daniel, I've never seen you so crestfallen.
So write a review.
Oh, that was amazing.
I'm really bummed out, especially because I feel like I did this to us. I know other people were on board. Dan was on board. Beth, we were
I'm on
pretty
board.
on board. Molly
I'm still
was
on
the
board.
only one that...
Molly was the only one who warned us.
Yeah, but Molly doesn't want to do anything.
No. Molly is the galactic... No, she is the blue man who represents the bureaucrats of our podcast.
Come on.
So I was whispering, let's watch that cheerleading movie again.
Right. Oh, let's watch the Lindsay Lohan movie I wanted to watch.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, now they're all sad.
But Dan, you gave it an optimistic 2 and then talked yourself down to 1.5.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with that because, as I said, the imaginative quality of the world that this movie inhabits is ingrained enough into my childlike wonder where it's like a drug where part of me is like, yeah, Star Wars. There were Star Wars happening, even though there weren't a lot of stars or war, really.
Yeah.
But there's still that. I mean, that is why it's so deceptive because there's still that part of your brain that's just yeah, I like that stuff. I like space and aliens and lasers and stuff. And that little flicker is what keeps me with a 1.5 lightsaber toys.
Lightsaber toys, that's right. Beth, you gave it 2 and then edited it to be the double-ended one of Darth Maul.
It's not that cool.
Yep.
Oh man, I gotta is there such thing as a half of a laser?
Sure.
Sure.
Half of Darth Maul's.
I mean, it's a toy, so it can break.
Yeah,
But,
it's it's a broken one. It was just terrible. There was nothing that I really liked about it, and now that I've seen some well-made newer ones that actually appealed to those things that you like about the original movies, I'm what were you even thinking? Yeah, so mine is broken lightsaber toy.
I gave it 2 because I want to believe. Is that right? Yeah, I can't give it a whole one. I don't know. Yeah, just a broken one that you left out.
Yeah.
And then someone stepped on.
Your jerk brother stepped on.
Or you asked for it a lightsaber for Christmas, but instead you got
you got a plastic
a
sword.
might raber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something that's not lightsaber.
Right.
Yes.
Did you say might raber?
I was trying to do something that I was that sounds like it could be bad, and I was already invested. Anyway,
So it's just a flashlight.
Yeah, like a flashlight, but it's broken.
Unimagined.
Yeah. And then the creator of the flashlight comes in and accidentally steps on it.
Comes in with his tennis balls.
Yeah.
And then he gives it to your kid brother.
Right.
He says, "This isn't for you. It never was."
Yeah. I think really the only thing I liked was that little kid saying, "Let's go play pool."
So good.
That's maybe the only part of this movie I liked.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could collectively give an entire warehouse of lightsaber toys to that kid.
Yeah.
That kid was amazing.
That's it. That's
and
all.
his dad.
Yeah.
Oh, a shield.
Yeah. Molly, you gave it 3.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because you were going to hope to see it through the eyes of a child, I think.
Ooh, yeah.
Your nieces and nephews or something.
How'd that go?
Oh, I forgot to do that. No, it was awful. It was truly not a fun experience. And I say that as someone who's had 17 years since the last time I saw it, which has to be the biggest gulf of time, I think, for almost any of these movies. I don't know if there's anything that's any greater than that. And in that time, I forgot a lot of the plot points, but I don't think I was able to rekindle any wonder. I mean, a little bit of wonder. I don't know. The stuff I was appreciating, I don't know. Like, okay, here's the deal, everybody. I give it a 1 broken toy, which I think, in large part, though, if I had to compare this to Freaky Friday, I would give it 5 broken toys because I hated Freaky Friday.
I would watch Freaky Friday
that much
twice back to back before I watch
you've
this
forgotten.
movie again.
You've forgotten. It was horrible.
No,
so, like, this to me is like, but I mean, I also, like, I don't know. I feel bad about dogging George Lucas. It's
Feel
just
bad
like,
about what?
Like being harsh to George Lucas.
He's
feels-
fine.
He sold this franchise for billions.
Yeah,
Like, he got so much out of this.
that's true. And I'm sure he enjoyed making it.
Yeah.
I believe, and I think that's the thing, is I think everyone who worked on it enjoyed making it.
Sure.
And how devastating for it to finally come out and for everyone to hate it as much as we did. And then to continue to hate it 17 years later.
Yeah.
Like Bummer Town, man.
Bummer. People have been a lot meaner about it than we have.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm sure. It's the internet.
Oh. Yeah, there's like a 90-minute YouTube video that's pretty good. It's a review of this and why it's so bad. It's weird because it's both very thoughtful, but then it's also the story about someone who's got someone locked in their basement. Have you guys seen this video?
Yeah.
I've heard about it, yeah.
It's like a legit good analysis and takedown of this movie and like why like there's no characters and there's no motivation. But then the guy reviewing it is also like maybe got a woman trapped in his basement. It's really
Creepy.
weird.
Wait, what?
It's like the meta elements. Like here's a guy telling you about why this movie's terrible, but then it keeps cutting into be like, shut up down there, or something like that.
Oh, like for comedy? Like it's
For comedy.
It's
no.
funny that he has a woman locked in his
Yeah,
basement.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be like this guy actually has someone locked in the basement,
Yeah.
but he also
It still sounds hilarious.
I mean,
So
violence
funny.
against women is
Yeah,
probably
so
the
funny.
funniest thing ever.
yeah, that's what this movie needed. It
More
needed
violence
against
women.
women.
Well,
Yeah.
you have to
A lot.
have more women
That's
in
true.
it.
Yeah.
I feel like I've gotten us way off track.
Yeah, you really have.
Okay, I'll just take 2. I give this movie a half broken toy because
Okay.
it was terrible and I
Great.
hated it.
Well, let's go play pool.
Yeah. Big boy, taking my boy going home.
Oh, let's go play spaceball in the space sand.
up fighting stars.
Oh, my dad's trying to shoot that shield generator.
Oh, he's flying with a lady pilot up there.
Oh, jeez.
We can't afford a racer, so how about we play ball?
Oh, Greedo, why you gotta bring that frying pan everywhere? It's depressing.
We don't got no bat, do we?
Okay, new spinoff. Are you listening, Disney? New spinoff. Those weird kids from the first movie.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be
like
like
the
the
New
Sandlot.
Goonies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love
Oh, Ragtag Kids.
that. I would watch that.
Little Greedo.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, the droid army's coming. Let's hit him with the frying pan.
Oh, get my ball.
They should call it Little Greedo.
Oh.
No, I miss Anakin. Where'd he go? Whoa, he got freed. We're all still slaves.
Oh, Jesus.
Totes Recall is hosted by Molly Chase, Beth Gibbs, Dan DeQuette, and Dan Linden. Produced by Beth Gibbs. New episodes of Totes Recall drop on the 15th of every month. For more information and bonus content, visit us at totesrecall.com. Thank you so much for listening.